Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in WWE. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, R to the B to the V, and we are live on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, on the Patreon after the fact. Rick, what a big week it's been in professional wrestling.
I tell you what, Jimmy T, this week on WWE, I mean, we are coming in hot because we have got a lot to cover, brother. And I'll tell you what's the best part about that. You know, going back to last Friday, soon as SmackDown, and it's really as soon as that first segment, I couldn't wait to get to this week's show because I knew the IWC, the internet, the wrestling world was going to be buzzing. Now, maybe not the best episode of SmackDown, but we got we got a lot of talking points, a lot of bullet points out of that, and then they just rolled that over. They rolled over that heat, that big debate, those conversation pieces right into last night, Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to go inside. You know, what has the fans talking? What is the buzz? Hey, but first, as I said, we're going to jump right into it. I do want to apologize. We had been advertising. We're going to talk about our favorite WrestleMania matches. Going to try to save that for next week. But we know we have got a lot to cover. We're going to get rolling into it. This morning, Jimmy T, big announcement from WWE over on ESPN. Again, this morning, 9:35 a.m. Eastern, the big reveal, brother. Joey P was over there on Get Up. They made the announcement, night one, night two, how the show is going to be laid out. Main events. We know who was going to be in the main event. We know which is going to be night one, which is going to be night two. Maybe the biggest news coming out, who is going to be showcased on those freebie hours. Night one freebie hour on ESPN2, night two on ESPN, the mothership, the flagship for all things sports and entertainment. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. Night one, Jimmy T.
Well,
we'll pull it up here. How about this night one? We know the main event. It's going to be Cody Rhodes, Universal Champion, defending against Randy Orton. At this time, in Randy Orton's corner, Pat McAfee. We're going to talk about how that came into play. We also see that's going to be on that show. We've got the women's champion, Stephanie McCurry versus Liv Morgan. That match could be up for a question, could be up in the air if that's going to happen. We're also going to get Seth freaking Rollins and Gunther. We got a little more clarity into the why. Still not a total answer, but we know a little bit more now. That's going to be going down night one. How about AJ Lee, Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship and that big fatal four-way women's tag match going to be going down. But the two matches that are going to be highlighted on ESPN2, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. All hell's going to break loose in the strip there in Vegas. It's going to be so uncontrollable. WWE doesn't want anything to do with it. They've cleaned their hands of it. Unsanctioned match. Anything could happen, and it's going to happen for the masses to see there on ESPN2. How about over on the other side of that? They're turning to the influencers. Your boy, I Show Speed. He's going to be with the Vision in six-man tag as they take on LA Knight and the Yeet. What an opening that could be as a showcase there. They got to bring that back. That big showcase for the ESPN2 crowd there. But your thoughts, Jimmy T, chat on night one and the big announcement, especially those freebies for night one.
I mean, they're both going to be absolute bangers, right? When you think about it, isn't that what the kids call them these days? I mean, having the street fight and Oba and Brock opening up both nights.
That's going to be night two. That is a big one. So I guess before we'll jump into, we'll talk about the whys, maybe why they chose these things to be in that spot. But night two itself, you see there the main event, CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Champion, defending against Roman Reigns. Balor versus Mysterio. Am I correct there? I mean, I got this from WWE. Is that the demon that we see in the Balor photo?
But we got no announcement of any demon. That's why every time we saw that.
This grab came from WWE. I just noticed that there's going to be a storm coming there in Vegas as women's champ. Jade Cargill defends against Rhea. And the hug crew is back. United States Championship, Sami Zayn, Trick Williams. A lot to talk about there. We're going to get, when we get into the SmackDown breakdown, we're going to talk about it. But the two big ones that really stand out that are going to be the freebies, hour one on ESPN. You got the showcase, spot showcase. Anything's going to happen. The oohs, the ahs. This is insane. Demolition Derby, 6-man, 6-pack ladder match. Rey Mysterio just added to that match. But I think the biggest one, the big announcement, arguably the true main event of WrestleMania, going to be highlighted on ESPN, Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi.
Wow. I mean, we were talking about this last week, Rick, and we pretty much predicted that match could end up being the first match of whatever night they were going to obviously announce it on, even though we were agreeing it more than likely would be on night 2. But we also said, it could have even been the main event, Rick. For real, the way it's been hyped up, it can easily slot into that main event. But you know what, Rick? When we do get to it, not everything is perfect, though, either with the whole build-up.
I think you know what? I really put some thought into this, and I know you guys reservations on it. I think they have done I would give them almost like an 80-85% grade on what they've done in that build-up. Quick on this thing here. Artist returns. Good to see you. Oba Brock as the opening match is just wrong as free. Well, let's talk about that. Let's think about that. I mean, it's, as we're saying, I mean, this thing could be the main event of WrestleMania. And the main event to me necessarily isn't the match that goes last. It's the one that draws. No. It's the moneymaker. Right. It's the one that's putting eyes on the product. And for me, that is this match, which exactly why it is in the position it is. I think when you look at WrestleMania weekend this year, the most important segment hour is night 2, hour 1, because it is on the biggest distribution platform.
Right.
It is where it is potentially going to have the most eyes on the product. And I think giving them 2 hours of free programming on ESPN2, on ESPN, isn't necessarily back in the day when we get the freebies, the Stevie Night Heats, the TV Guide, those hours were used as impulse buys. They were trying to convince you last minute, okay, I'm going to go to my satellite cable provider, pay-per-view provider, and click that button. Simple click of the button, $30. Let's go. I think we're going to see a serious decrease in impulse buys because of what it takes to go through to actually get it.
Yeah.
It's not a click of a button. You got to download it onto your television. Then you got to go through the setup fee, all that registration. I think that the deeper thing here is ESPN. This is a test for WWE. This is a test for the product that they've invested in to see if it can actually draw.
Right.
ESPN has spent a lot of money in some products, NCAA football, basketball, men's, women's, the WNBA, and they're losing a lot of their, they got the NFL for Monday Night Football, which is huge, blockbuster numbers. They have lost a little bit with in their distribution of Major League Baseball. They're looking to fill that void. I think this is a major test. Can pro wrestling step up to the plate and deliver in a situation like that? If you're WWE, you know that. So you got to run something out there that says our product is valuable. This is what pro wrestling should be. And I think what you do that with Brock Oba, that's main event wrestling. And then the ladder match, the Spot Fest, Demolition Derby, is the oohs and ahs that could keep people coming back for it. I think that was the strategy behind putting those 2 matches in there.
Absolutely. It's absolutely obvious too. I mean, why would you? They're strategically placed, even on night 1, to have those type of matches is exactly what you said, Rick.
Yeah.
It's all done to see if they can draw, and they want to draw. They don't even want to make a great first impression, right? So, I mean,
night 1 is on ESPN2, so it's a smaller crowd, lesser extent. You're going to draw on Saturday, but you're right, Jimmy. Look who's strategically placed there. First thought is the influencers, I Show Speed, and Logan Paul for the crossover.
It's not an accident. Put it that way.
They've got some belts on the line, so you got shiny toys that pull you, not on the line, but they'll see the tag titles. The LA Knight is a great ambassador for WWE. You know, and then if they bring it out, and they better, you know, bring back the entrance to open up WrestleMania with
weird, right?
whatever thousands there in Vegas doing the yeet. That's a big spectacle showcase. That's good. You know, that's what they want. They want to show, look at us as a spectacle. We are on the same level of the NFL, college football, college basketball, what of those other products that ESPN has that they're focusing and investing in. And then you've got Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, both look like pro wrestlers, and that is going to be where the ladder match and the six man are going to be a lot of spots, fast movement, high impact. That's going to just be brutality. That's just going to be a fight.
Oh, for sure. And hopefully they do what we were speculating last week, Rick. And just, I don't mind if they have it going through the whole night and they're just everywhere. All over the place.
Now, when we talk about pulling the trigger on impulse buys, that's a good point, Jimmy, that could be the one. Hey, let's start off with this thing. These guys could fight all weekend. Make sure you get the app to see how this thing ends tomorrow night. I like that, bro. I like that. I didn't really think about it. That's a great point.
If they'd done it for 2 nights, that'd be magnificent. They won't do that for 2 nights. But if they did, it would be absolutely great if they thought that. But hopefully they do that with night 1. But I'm not gonna put all my eggs in one basket. I don't trust them that they will do that, but let's hope they do. But it seems like they're on a sort of good brain wave right now, and are realizing with certain things, the way they've placed them, that maybe we will get what we want, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I know over the chat artists also said, will people just be tuning in? A lot of that is going to be on the home stretch over these next 2 weeks for ESPN and WWE internally on all of their distribution, all their products to sell this thing. Make sure you're here Saturday and Sunday. Also into their favor, I don't think there's any other major events next weekend. You got March Madness just wrapped up. I mean, baseball is in early season swing. NBA still not quite to the playoffs. NHL still not there. Some intrigue, some interesting matchups. Masters is this weekend. So that next weekend is kind of that focus on wrestling. So if they can get that blitz on, because they did the reveal this morning on Get Up. So throughout the day. Here's another thing. Pat McAfee now inserted into the main event, inserted into a major storyline. He has Monday through Friday, he has 2 hours of a block on ESPN to help sell this thing, to have guests on, to have people talking, to play his role. Yesterday, Monday locker room, I was pulling dual duty, talking with Ben early on. I had ESPN, Pat McAfee show, hoping that they would open up early and mention what happened. Unfortunately, there was a lot going on. He didn't mention it till later in the show, but Pat did respond there.
Okay, what do you say?
He went after these IWC marks. Don't they realize that we're doing this for them? It's the villains that see that they're doing the righteous. So he kind of played into it a little bit. So it will be interesting to see if they, turn up the heat on that, try to get some people in and use that platform as well. I do want to apply to him that I've been harping on him here last couple of weeks. Last Legend was on over the weekend to talk women's college basketball, which I thought was a great crossover that they should have been utilizing a lot more during the women's March Madness.
Right. Absolutely. Even Jade Cargill, didn't she play college ball as well?
She did. They should have had both of them all over. But Lash played at a big time school and went to the WNBA, where Jade was at a mid. But still, to play any level of college basketball is a hell of an accomplishment when you're an athlete.
You just don't not anyone can get in there, man. It's almost on the same length as professional sports, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, for sure. But as far as even Nia Jax played basketball too professionally, believe it or not. Did you know that?
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, you can play, you can kind of get in all that. I know that in her background. Great athlete. We do have we do have that card reveal. Jimmy, is there any of them that jump out to you? Or is this kind of how you thought it would kind of lay out? I don't think there's really a big surprise. Again, we got night 2. Punk and Reigns are going to headline that thing. I guess maybe from the poster. Again, this is from WWE. We got the Demon.
Yeah, that's bizarre. That's kind of weird. And I assumed, obviously, we're going to get it. If they don't deliver, then, that's a bit, they're gaslighting us with his poster. But
I think, why would you give that away? What do you kind of want to have that pop? I mean, it's not like there's a sect of the audience that's just like, oh, the Demon, I have to watch. That doesn't exist.
That's weird. It's bizarre, man. But if you wanted to, I mean, you could make, if night 2 is the main event, obviously, which it is, you could have really stacked up night 2, but then night 1 wouldn't look as good, obviously. So you got to try and have the placements correctly.
Which night? I mean, I think it's pretty evenly distributed here. There's again night 1. Which one do you think? I think it's pretty evenly distributed. I think I give the slight edge to night 2 just because of Brock and Oba. I think that is just hands down the main event, the draw for this thing. I know a lot of people kind of get a little heat because we haven't got a lot of the why yet. But Seth Rollins and Gunther, the ring general, has the potential to be the match that everyone's talking about come 420.
I mean, that's a possibility, but the why is obvious though with that match, and we'll get to it when we'll talk about it when we do talk about that. Them two going at it, it's very obvious. You got to know where that's going, right, Rick?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think actually last week when everybody was up in arms, screaming that they couldn't stand, they hated this. What the decision was wrong on the Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling podcast. Jargo and I took a step back and examined, okay, where could this be going where it makes some sense? It seems that we've hit the mark, that we hit it right on it. And we laid it out where Heyman wasn't in cahoots, didn't set this up, but this is Gunther going into business for himself. And as we heard, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. He said, hey, I need more than a big favor from you.
Right.
So this is him. This is Gunther realizing this is him playing chess and putting his pieces together to call it a big favor from Paul Heyman later on.
And you know where that's going to go, where that road is going. I mean, come on. That big favor, I should wait for my reveal, but I do want to say it now, but I'll wait. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not worth me talking about it now.
Well, here we go. What's Clip saying here? WWE doesn't get viewers like the NFL does. No one does. No one in this world. We can start adding up Final Four, college ball, whatever the case might be, NBA, MLB. None of them get the views that the NFL does. But you're saying even the other one, the Final Four, college ball, people see this crap and ain't tuning in. Well, your job in WWE or ESPN, because you made this investment, isn't to go in with that mindset. You need to go in and put your best foot forward to sell this, to put that on that level. So when someone tunes in and they don't immediately dismiss this product, that's why you have the likes of a Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. That's why you have Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. That's why you have the influencers, the fun side of pro wrestling, the ladder match. I will say that what does stand out to me, Jimmy, get your thoughts on this. Chat, give us your thoughts on this. This is where we can call WWE's bluff on one thing, because they have been blowing smoke up our rears for years about this women's evolution. It's just as good. It's just as good. Really? ESPN needed something that would draw, and you didn't give one of those slots to a women's match.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, and it shows, obviously. Yeah, no, right now they're definitely not drawing, man. And look at how consistently they're putting on the Women's Revolution pay-per-view or PLE, whatever you want to call it.
I get that being once. It's a specialty thing. I get that. But, for them to say on a weekly basis, we're going to split time segment-wise because it's just as good. It's just as important. What's even funnier, because Sunday nights on ESPN, they are shifting. They don't have Sunday Night Baseball anymore. They're going to be running a women's block of sports, not a WNBA, women's soccer, things like that. You would think that somewhere, one of these 4 matches, they would have tried to showcase women, but they haven't.
I mean, you think, especially the way women, have been screaming out for equal pay, equal opportunity and whatnot, but I'm sorry, but in this case, it's WrestleMania. All right, you need to highlight exactly like what's going to get eyeballs, and I'm talking about because it's ESPN, and ESPN would have even, I'm sure, ESPN would have even made suggestions for what they probably wanted.
Maybe they did. ESPN said they didn't want to. I mean, is there a women's match, Jimmy, Chad, that you guys think that we have on paper that could have stood out, that could have said, hey, I like this product, I want more of it? Could Jade and Rhea, just in the physical presence of how they look, get Jade out there, you know, the sexy flexy, I mean, she does look. Isn't that why you brought her in, for that look?
Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
were you so worried about what would happen in her match that would turn things off? I mean, you could have gone out there just on a 5-minute. I mean, Rhea looks great. She has a unique look. Jade looks amazing. I mean, could you have gone with the potential sex appeal of Stephanie Vicaire and Liv Morgan and let those two go out there and try to put on something great for you?
Yeah, but let's be honest, right? When you compared those two women's title matches, look at one of those women's matches. I'm talking about Rhea and Jade, and then you look at Vicaire and Morgan. It's like two little chicks against two behemoths going at it. For me, that match would sell. That's the only women's match right now, I think, that could possibly sell.
You could get a lot of variety out of that women's fatal 4-way. You got Charlotte. You got the name of Charlotte Flair. You know, Bliss. She's still got cute little looks, even though she's little. You've got the girls that played basketball, as you told me about now. But Lash that is there that look the irresistible forces, the beautiful behemoths. You know, you've got Bailey and Burgle that can go out there and absolutely work, and you've got name recognition. Chat. I know you hate to hear it. You hate to hear it, but you got name recognition in the Bellas.
It's sad but true, unfortunately.
Well, fortunately for the women, it appears that ESPN, WWE, or whoever made the call didn't have faith in them to sell for that first hour on either night when WrestleMania is going to have the most exposure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's true. I mean, it is what it is. And that's why I feel those two women are the only ones right now, just going by physical appearance alone. And just how good like Rhea is too. They're the only ones I think that could possibly sell like a match right now. Everyone else hasn't been built up like to their level at all year, in my opinion, or even last year. So that's the thing. I feel like, have they stifled the women's division a little bit?
See, I really think that if they'd known this a while ago, we don't know the insides of how long they've known they were going to have this hour thing. It seems like they've been advertising for a month or so, but to me, that would have been the spot. Save the ladder match for that. Make it the women's tag and actually put your stars in there. Keep Io and Rhea together to put in there. Put the Kabuki Warriors in there. Charlotte and Bliss in there. Even the fellas, because of that name recognition. That would have been able to sell with them, but no women in there. No women in there, Jimmy. Kind of interesting.
Well, see, it depends how good these draws. Do you think, what's the positive in your opinion? Like, what does WWE need to draw, especially on night 2, considering it's on, the main ESPN channel, not ESPN2? But what's the satisfactory number that ESPN could possibly be happy with?
Now, obviously, I mean, they're not going to get anywhere near. They need to find some kind of groove in there. I haven't seen yet the women's final 4 numbers. If they could possibly get into that range, would be spectacular. I mean, they need to outdraw a regular WNBA game. I mean, they're not going to touch football numbers. They're not going to do that.
Absolutely.
If they could maybe sniff the NBA regular season game or something like that, that would be a major success for them.
Well, see, I'm really intrigued by it. I'm not going to lie. I really want to know what those numbers are and how quick we get those numbers after the fact. We'll wait and see. Hopefully, it's pretty quick.
What?
There's the vet.
Yeah, old man vet's like the guy in the apartment below you is beating on the ceiling with the broomstick.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
We're bringing that energy, that WrestleMania excitement here on This Week in WWE. Jimmy, the other big news before we jump into the reviews here this week, a lot of hot conversation. It seems that the WWE is shooting on themselves. We've heard plenty of interviews. Pat McAfee kind of got that thing going, came out here and he said, you know what? I can't believe we still got tickets available when you got somebody like Randy Orton. You know, it's because this product sucks. I don't tune in to pro wrestling to watch two 555 guys doing Iron Man matches every week. We're not doing that yet.
Oh, we're not? Oh, I thought we were getting into it right now.
We're not doing that yet.
My bad.
Quick on the trigger there, buddy. A little premature.
Sorry, I got you happy right there. God damn.
Pat McAfee does it. Cody supposedly comes out and shoots and says, hey, the guys that you work for, you could tell them to shove it. We're out here working our asses off. CM Punk opens up Monday night and he just comes out, calls him McAfee, says he can take, all the guys that he's working with. They're just greedy SOBs. If they want more asses in the seats, they need to target the people. Go to work for the people and lower those ticket prices. Jimmy, your thoughts? Did you pop for it? Your overall thoughts, impressions with the company seemingly shooting on themselves?
Well, first of all, with McAfee, I don't know if he's trying to be like a greaser or something. I almost feel like he's going to come out and say, hey, the way he's talking and acting. I think he's overacting his heelness, if you get my drift, but he still delivered great. Don't get me wrong. I just think he's overdoing it just a little tiny bit.
Not about the delivery, not the delivery. I'm asking about the message, and the points.
Right, absolutely. The message is weird. I'm not going to lie, because why are they doing this? If they're so self-aware with the fans and what the fans are talking about, then why do they continue to do the opposite thing? And now here we are. They're shooting on themselves, like you said, but are they shooting themselves in the foot or the head at this point?
Well, it is creating great conversation. People are talking about, is there an internal struggle? Is Triple H in his gang, are they at war, at odds with Arie and the top brass inside of TKO? Great conversation for fans. It seems like they are putting together that next great award nominated series. Unreal. That's what it really feels like they're putting together. But we're gonna give everybody the truth right here on This Week in WWE. We're gonna take you to school here. This isn't a shoot. They're not shooting on each other. There is no heat within this company. This is a very old school marketing tactic. This is not a shoot. This is a marketing strategy, simply known as brand vulnerability or proactive transparency. So what that means, Jimmy, is this is when a brand, a company realizes that they've been at fault, that they have kind of alienated a large portion of their consumer base. And so to maybe to make themselves feel endearing, or to make the audience, the consumer, feel like the power is in their hand.
That's what it is, Rick.
They are going to acknowledge it, and they're going to hope to build here with it. They want to reestablish, by acknowledging their failures, they are rebuilding those long-term trust and loyalty in the audience. So right now, where we see different sides of the coin, the top wants to bring it back with better creative, a better days, better year. Another side wants to be able to take care of the people. These are just strategies. This is just a way so it feels that the people are getting kind of motivated, inspired to take this back themselves.
And you called it, there's the key word, to think that they've got control, that the fans have got control. Come on, Rick, I'm sorry, but you know this too. We've seen this more than once in the past, even, man, when they've acknowledged their stuff ups, to the point, if you remember, like over 10 years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, where Stephanie, Vince, Triple H, the whole McMahon family, and Hunter, obviously, all came along to acknowledge the fans that creative sucked and we're going to change things and make things better. And what happened, Rick? Absolutely nothing. Nothing changed. It got worse, if anything. And this is, again, I feel like it's all manipulation. Kudos to him for using kayfabe. But then when you open and kick down and bulldoze that fourth wall all the time and then decide to play real, you can alienate your fan base also. But in saying that, putting that all aside, though, I'm loving it for just the story aspect and where they're trying to go with it, right? But I know deep down in my heart of hearts, they're going to stuff up.
You look at some of the keys here. There's a few things in here. You have proactive transparency, admitting the mistake immediately rather than waiting to be exposed. So they are going at it themselves. Right. Because they realize after the big event of WrestleMania, they don't have that big blockbuster to fall back on. They got some international stuff, but they need something else. So they're admitting it themselves. Then you have a phase called the oops email, a specific popular tactic where brands send a follow-up email admitting mistakes. So this is done in their promos. So this is the oops promos. That's what we're getting. Brand humanization. Admitting mistakes shows there are real people behind the brand. And that's like in CM Punk's, that's what his whole thing was. He's a real wrestling fan himself. He is here for the people. That is, so they're also disguising that to attack Roman, who is a corporate shell, who is part of that. But he is there. So he is the that human element.
Right.
And then you have the wit and self apologies is with it here. When mistakes are lighthearted or witty or humorous, that's where they're having some fun with it as well.
Yeah,
they're following all the trends that fit into this marketing strategy. So where everyone thinks that this is some kind of shoot, that there is a civil war brewing inside WWE, they are feeding you. The bait has been set and the trap is clicked. They've got you there.
They've got everybody, because man, if you look all over the internet, there is so many fans out there that truly believe some of this is a shoot completely. From what Cody said on SmackDown to what Punk said on Raw and what McAfee also said on SmackDown.
They might not have handed them a script, but they know the direction they're going here with it. So it is.
They know. Come on. And it's good. I get giddy when I see fans react like that. I truly do.
That makes for fun content. It makes for fun conversation. Right. It makes for a hot property.
Absolutely. When they're hot, we're hot too. Everyone's is going hot. You know what I'm saying? So the better they are, the better it is for everybody. But I just them doing that. I need to see consistency now, Rick. That's the thing. How do we know? Like they're gonna they love changing history and doing things differently, and they're gonna pretend soon that all this shit never happened. And that's what worries me, Rick. I just want to see a little more transparency from WWE. If you're going to do that, then go all in with it. And you know what else is upsetting, though? The fact that they are self-aware of what the fans are talking about online and all that shit, and yet they don't care to improve the product or to do other things that the fans want. You know what I'm saying? So that's what sort of bugs me.
Well, it's about the control of the product here. As Larry says, make the fans feel pride in supporting the wrestlers who are standing up while raising prices. That's what you kind of divide it there. There is the big word is, though, that post WrestleMania, you're going to see a decrease domestically in some prices to try to draw some people back. So,
right.
And we've been asking for a while, when is the bubble going to burst? And it seems that they are recognizing that, and they're doing things to try to lower those prices to bring people back to the events. Well, Jimmy, let's go ahead and switch those gears. Yes, the time is here. You can throw up that beautiful blue brand logo. SmackDown Breakdown. Let's get into it. People were talking. As I said, going back to Friday night, that opening segment, and I could not wait to get to this week's show, to get into this conversation. And going in, the big promise was we are going to find out who Randy Orton has been talking to, who has been on the other end of the line. And oh, by the way, this week's Blue Brand SmackDown coming to us from St. Louis, the birthplace of one Randy Orton. He's got his family there. Randy's going to be out to open this thing. He continues to explain his mindset. What the voice is telling him. His actions. His actions. And that Cody is the one that has brought this out. Cody asked for this version. Cody wanted to test himself against this version of Randy Orton. Promo seemed kind of, he's Randy's kind of playing to the audience and then pulling it back. I'm not,
yeah, of course.
Gets that pop, and then I'm not here for you. This one in the heel, if you're trying to get the heat on Randy here, this one kind of threw a curve at me, though. Why point out his family? I'm doing it. There's thousands of people here, but I'm doing it for the 6 people right there. Those 6 people. And he points out his family. Nice, to get them some recognition. They do a lot of sacrifice, when he's on the road all these years, what he's been doing. But just seemed kind of odd to have him, point to the family when he's trying to generate that heat, to humanize him, if you will. You get that sympathy on him.
Right. No, you're right. I don't know. They're bizarre, WWE. But I will say this about Orton. Again, didn't we not explain to everybody? People legitimately were thinking, oh my God, Orton's, he's a heel, blah, 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 this and that. But he's explained himself again. This is twice. And we explained it for everybody a week ago.
Well, in any great villain, they feel justified interactions. They're the hero. They're doing what's right.
Absolutely. But
maybe they see that. Maybe they see people just are getting it and they're trying to hammer it home. But introducing the family kind of threw me off. But of course, this brings out Cody Rhodes. The champ is out again. He's still pissed. I mean, he got bloodied up. He got just devastated, beaten to a pulp weeks ago. He's still trying to get some of that revenge, exact that revenge before they get to WrestleMania. But he's not going to have it because he gets blindsided. And I think this shocked the world with all the names we had talked about. Who might be on the other line? Could it be somebody from their past? I saw, Kevin Owens picking up steam. Could it have been the Cowboy, Bob Orton? Could it even been Ted DiBiase Jr.? I don't think anywhere anyone mentioned the name Pat McAfee, and that's who we have. Pat McAfee slides into the ring, and the old punter, punts. He punts. And I love the way the kick looked because it looked like he was soaring one about 70 yards downfield. Yeah. He did well. He laid into it. He kicks Cody Rhodes right in the biracial baby maker.
The biracial baby maker.
Kick the square in the family jewels. And Cody drops. McAfee proceeds to cut his promo. Pretty much saying this ain't the Attitude Era. That's the wrestling that we fell in love with. We don't tune in to see 5'5" midgets do Iron Man matches every week. We tune in for people like Randy freaking Orton, the Blueprint, the creator wrestler. How in the reason it is because of all these other things going on. That's why WrestleMania is not sold out. That's the reason. That's where he's pointing all this blame. Those two take off with each other. They get in the back. We come back for commercial. Very next segment. They say our work here is done. They hop in that big old Ram. Poof. Pickup truck and take off. Hey, Ram. Shout out to Ram. Getting your advertising dollars. Big sponsor of the Pat McAfee show. You get the big Ram pickup truck there, and you got the Ram logo right in the ring there in SmackDown this week. So they put up some big bucks.
I've noticed that.
A little cross promotions. They're big time sponsors over the Pat McAfee show. Cody answers back later, but Jimmy, let's focus on right now. Okay, now you can talk about the Pat's delivery, if he is right for this position, or how you see it making sense, because it has confused a lot of the audience.
And I don't blame him for being confused. But as far as him being the right guy first, who would have made sense if they actually had the balls to do it? Bring back Riddle and have him be Pat McAfee's, being Pat's role in defending Orton. That would have been something else because, it makes way more sense. Where does this make sense for McAfee and Orton? Don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean I don't like it, though. I'm just pointing out, why McAfee, of all people? And why is he acting like a friggin' almost, I don't know, I don't want to say he's trying to act like Scott Hall, but it's like he's almost got the cadence. He's trying to do like a Scott Hall cadence, sort of, even with his movement. I could picture him start doing this, you know what I mean? Like as he's walking and shit. It's like the NWO all over again, almost.
I got a feeling he probably went and watched some of that film as he's trying to find a direction. Trying to find a direction with it. He was probably watching. One of the main things I had in my notes, like during watching it while it's happening. I'm thinking not who it's coming from, but I'm listening to the message. And I'm like, you know what? This is kind of when we hear tribalism in pro wrestling, we usually relate that to the companies today. This is more like tribalism for the eras. He's echoing what us old timers have been talking about, how great the Attitude Era is, as opposed to today. I looked at it like the body language, because you're right. You could tell he was trying to channel some NWO, some DX, that cool bad guy thing.
Yeah.
But he kept messing with his shades. He should have just threw those things off because they weren't sitting on his head right. They didn't have yeah, but they should have got rid of the shades because he kept going back to him, and I could tell it was probably awkward for him to remember where he was at his promo, what's going on with it. Now, I know every fan isn't supposed to follow every aspect of what goes on promotion wise. You just physically cannot do it. You can't watch other shows that aren't on WWE, which WWE should have shown something like this to set this up. I don't know when this came in. We are getting word that Pat's involvement actually came. We heard Pat's on the other end of the line, but who made the call? Who was making the real call? Was it Arie Emanuel from TKO?
100%.
That wanted Pat involved here.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we got rumor, because he is one of Arie's clients. Big time client. Arie sees a lot of potential. I mean, rumors saying that Arie sees him as a potential future Sylvester Stallone in Hollywood. Crazy.
Right.
Which is funny because Arie got Pat a role on Tulsa King, so he's going to be on Sylvester Stallone's show. So you had mentioned like Riddle.
Right.
Well, Matt Riddle doesn't have the overall PR impact. Nowhere near that of a Pat McAfee.
Nothing near that. Unless this is leading to like an authority type of storyline, like legit, like authority. Like when we were talking this morning earlier, like many hours before yesterday, shall I say, off the air. If it's leading to some sort of authority sort of faction, then all right, fine. It makes kind of sense.
Well, they don't have, well, I mean, I guess they'd have the ties with it, but we don't need more authority factions. We need to move away, get something unique here with it.
Well, where else could it be going, really, though? When you really think about it, like, where is this really going? If the higher ups are the ones that are saying to do this, and Pat McAfee's kind of alluding to that, we need something, right?
Well,
we need
if you need a real tie. If you need a real tie-in, then go back to during the NFL Combine. Randy Orton stopped by the Pat McAfee show, and they had an amazing 30-minute conversation. And now at the time, I didn't think anything of it, but now looking back, Pat kept saying during it, they kept asking, Randy kept asking, when are you coming back? We love to have you at the table. When you come back? And Pat kept saying, he's like, I did my spot here. He's like, I don't know if today's product is my style. I just think wrestling in general is passing me by as a fan. And Randy kept saying, nah, man, you're not done yet. We're going to bring you back in. So it's almost funny in hindsight, the way they were interacting. Now, hey, you want a higher power? You want a third man? No, not Disco Inferno. How about one that is the connector, the guy that ties Randy Orton and Pat McAfee together? Can we give some love out there for Rip Rogers? Can we get the hustler? Can we get the Viper, the punter, and the Ripper, the hustler? Can we get some?
Great. Especially like he's in their corner, like legitly, like, they're his students. That would have been cool. I saw what you posted also on the Humming Media group page, and I actually liked it too, which was pretty cool. And Rip was giving his insight about the both of them. So if anyone hasn't checked it out, go and check it out.
Well, I would encourage everybody this Friday, Rip Rogers All Wrestling here on YouTube. He's probably going to have some great insight.
Oh,
they go live at noon. Check that out. He's probably going to be talking about some great insight. Rip spends time in Vegas. He still trains out there. So he's still a trainer out there. Now, I know the reality of them getting him involved in the program on air, zero. But hey, let's give some Easter eggs. Let's give some shout outs to him. Let's get out there. Tag Pat McAfee show. Tag Randy Orton. Let's get Rip to WrestleMania or something. Get a picture together with him.
That'd be cool, man.
Just something cool with him. So if there are those ties there. All right. So also on the show, Cody shoots back. He comes out and he says, I don't care who you hang out here with at the top. You're a no muscles Logan Paul. You don't deserve to be in it. And that was the rumor that they told Cody to just go out there, shoot from the hip. Also, I think the big point here, as we just kind of alluded towards, Cody compares Pat McAfee being the other guy at the end of the line as if with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash revealed the third man, and not Hulk Hogan, it's Disco Inferno. That got a lot of the smarks talking. Well, all right, I can see you popping, Jimmy. What did you think when you heard Disco?
I popped only because I know the history between them two, like over the years, and and their back and forth, and Cody sort of, putting down Disco. But I think he's got a lot more respect for Glenn Gilberti than people think. Because he's doing him a favor by even mentioning his name. Let's be real, man.
Thank you. Because again, hey, what 1990s WCW mid-carder is getting shout-outs on today's current product, let alone shout-outs, but by the top guy, by the Universal Champ, by the face of it. So where fans think it's a rib, it's a rub.
It's a rub, not a rib, a rub. Yeah, exactly. It is. It really is. How is that a rib? How is that bad?
Those ribs aren't saucy. They're dry rubs. That's a rub. The rib is the rub.
100%, man. 100%. Anyone that thinks otherwise are idiots. So I'm sorry. Come on.
That the big highlight there on SmackDown, all that exchange there. Again, Pat McAfee did respond on his show Monday, pretty much just come out and said, hey, Marks, we're doing this for you. So get on board with us. Still that heel thing, but they believe they're right in their mind trying to justify it. When it does come to ribs, though, Jimmy, let me ask you this, because this is another not as hot as the internal struggle, the potential civil war, if you will, but a lot of fans talking about this coming out. Let me ask you, is Carmelo Hayes being hazed? Seemingly out of WrestleMania now. Sammy defeats Carmelo Hayes clean. I mean, I know they played the knee injury, but no outside shenanigans here. Stipulation, Carmelo Hayes has to get this win, and he'll be added to the match at WrestleMania. Now, I could see maybe if he would have lost and there was some shenanigans, I still think coming up this week, he finds a way there. I think he finds a way to get inserted at. I could be completely wrong. I have some theories why he might not be, but what are your thoughts here? Internet upset that this is still going to just be Sammy and Trick.
Well, yes and no, because if you insert Hayes, the history is there, obviously, particularly with Trick and Carmelo, but I'm not sure if he's going to get on the card yet or not. He probably will, but I'm not going to. I mean, it's hard, man. I mean, do you really want another three-way like between the three of them? I'd rather see Trick.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I'm questioning. I asked him this yesterday. Is this a test? Is this a test, a make or break for Carmelo Hayes? This is, hey, kid, we know you've done some good work. You went out there and you were that 5'5" guy doing the Iron Man matches, for how many weeks?
He was. Yeah.
Carrying the United States Open Challenge. But we're going to see if you still play ball. Are you still going to be a great trooper, even though we're putting you on the sideline, putting you on the bench?
You think they're testing to see if he gets booby face or not, to see how he reacts and how he takes it?
Or is this, I think that's maybe one of the overall things here. Or could it also be, this isn't about necessarily Sammy needing to be on the show. This is maybe a message to Carmelo Hayes that you're not as big as Trick Williams in our eyes. And we do not want to take away from a Trick moment in any situation.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, if I was Mello, honestly, and I was have to play second fiddle to Trick winning the US Championship, I'd rather not be in the match, straight up. I mean, cool if I'm in it. Obviously, it's WrestleMania. But if they weren't going to put me in that particular match, I'd be fine with that, only for the reason that let him have his shine, let him do it on his own. You don't need Mello there to be sort of in the background just to make him look even worse, in my opinion. But, who am I? Maybe not. It might not make him look too bad. But I think it is a test. It's got to be a test.
Trick's going to get a big entrance at WrestleMania. He's got a big friend going to be bringing to the ring with him. Maybe not big. A little friend. Little Yachty.
Yeah.
Little Yachty's going to be there. He got a little, some flack, people coming at him about being there. He fired back. He said, hey, I'm there religiously on Mondays and Fridays. He said, I'm one of the biggest fans. I've been riding with this thing since Attitude Era. He said, who the hell are you to tell me that I don't have a right to go out there and live a dream?
I don't get, man, say what you want about little Yachty, but who the hell is anybody? You got the right to tell him what to do and what to like and what not.
Well, they're just going to hate on him there. Hey, go out there, make an amazing entrance. I don't know anything about Little Yachty. Just my first exposure to him. But that's okay because I'm a middle-aged white guy from Midwest. That's just not my flavor. But it could be a big entrance, big time thing, especially a defining moment here in the career going forward of Trick Williams. We have an exchange of words. We got 2 different segments here. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre pretty much laying out what this big match means to them. Hey, a couple weeks ago, these guys were fighting for 3 hours. We haven't seen them touch for a couple weeks. I'm okay with that. Let's cool it down. But essentially, Fatu saying, I wish I would have made some different choices. I've missed out on a lot. I've got to make up for them. Drew pretty much Fatu took this moment from me. I'm going to put him down. So we get a little bit of build there. Jimmy, a lot of fun. This was by far my favorite segments happenings here this week on SmackDown. This is a lot of fun. And I'm talking about the tag team title scene. There's a lot of working parts here. It starts off with R-Truth. He gives or answers a tag team open challenge from Kit and The Miz. He also, he claims that Kit was cursed by Asuka instead of Danhausen. I thought that was great. We get some of the backstage. We get the open challenge, whatever, except that the titles are going to be on the line. Priest is just as confused as we are, so it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that was.
Danhausen goes to Miz and Kit says, hey, put me in your corner. I'll uncurse you. We'll all win. They say no. So we get the match. The match is what it is. All kinds of silliness, all kinds of fun here. Highlighted by big time pop. Danhausen's music hits. Place goes crazy.
Man, he's killing it right now.
I even love the little touch that he makes sure to over exaggerate and shows that he has the tag rope.
Yeah, that was funny.
Drew doing the jump like he's going for a hot tag.
Yeah.
Then as they do everything there, as all the shenanigans are unfolding, it looks like holy shit, Miz and Kit are going to be able. Oh, no, instead of the curse thing, the referee catches the curse.
Oh, that was brilliant too.
The referee's there. Yeah, so it looks like Miz and Kit are going to steal one, and right on the 3 count, he cramps up and can't get the arm down because he's cursed.
That is brilliant. That was good. I like that, man.
During this segment, I was laughing so hard. I was having such a good time watching this. Something happened. It hasn't happened to me in decades. I actually snorted. I was laughing so hard at this thing. I was having a great time with this segment. The only thing, talking to Ben yesterday on the Monday locker room, that he mentioned, why not save this moment? Imagine, it was a great pop. St. Louis, 2 weeks out. Imagine how big that pop would have been for Danhausen to get back in the ring. This is his first time in the ring.
Oh, that would have been a huge pop.
His debut.
Wow. Yeah. No,
if you would have played all of that out at WrestleMania, and I know people like, oh, Kit Wilson at Miz, that is, versus Damian Priest, and that isn't WrestleMania. That moment would have been great at WrestleMania.
Yeah. They missed out on that, man. It's true. And I was waiting for that. The place would have just exploded. It would almost remind me of an old school sort of like with the Mega Powers or some shit like that at WrestleMania 5 or something like that. And a hot tag, well, not WrestleMania 5 because they went against each other, but say SummerSlam 1988, for example. That's a good example. Like, and the hot tag bang, and the place would have just would have exploded. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But maybe they will do it at WrestleMania. Don't put it past
it. You gave it away. Well, I am looking forward to, first of all, here with Cold Blooded, Danhausen, that makes me literally laugh out loud. Yes, all the time. If you guys out there are not following WWE social media, Danhausen social media, especially YouTube, just go watch the shorts of him interacting with people backstage. The one this past week with him, with Bailey and Bird Girl, it is freaking great. Where he's trying to replace Bird Girl on the team so he can go win tag team championship with Bailey. And he's giving him gifts and he's taking them. It's gold.
That's hilarious.
Danhausen is great. I am looking forward to. I'm excited now for John Cena to host so that Danhausen can interact with the Invisible Man.
Like, hey, John, where is he? But he disappears too.
That's right. The 3-minute tour of WWE headquarters. is freaking
Oh,
hysterical.
no. Really?
Hysterical. He finds a slammy that he's walking around with.
I saw that on the show, but I didn't see him actually find the slammy. Did you know at the old Titan Towers, a lot of the stuff is still in the building there?
Oh, there we go. Go rob it.
Like
I think someone talked about maybe going to go rob it or something like that.
Yeah, because I saw it on I saw it on a Facebook short or whatever, and I was like, damn, like I would love to go in there.
All right, some more from SmackDown here. Quickly get through these. We do have some developments here. Jade Cardiff defending against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley defeats Munchies by submission. But Jade and the Baddies are going to go on the beatdown. The music hits, the place pops, and it's Io Sky. She reunites with her best friend. She makes the save. And guess what? Hugs are back. Hugs are back. The best friends are reunited. We also had Charlotte and Bliss. They defeat Bailey and Bird Girl. Go over clean on them. Kind of just more fuel on the fire there for the women's fatal four-way. Of course, Lash and Nia attack both post-match. I guess of note, no Bellas. Maybe a little bit of truth behind that injured ankle of Nikki if they're resting her up.
That could possibly be true, but I'm sure they're just resting him, obviously, and we'll see him at Mania. Don't you worry, Rick. But
I know they'll be ready. They will be ready. They'll be there. We also had undercard action, kind of the exclusive storylines there. We had Aleister Black defeats Matt Cardona.
Yeah, that didn't even mean nothing, that match. No shit. Like, they had no, nothing. It just didn't matter that he won. Yeah. Didn't matter that Cardona lost.
Then, of course, my family tree, the drama continues. The family feud continues. Survey says Tama Tonga is pissed. He is not happy with the direction. He loses to Uncle Howdy, but at the end of it, Tama Tonga gives the lantern back. Says this lantern has been nothing but bad news for us. We've got to get away from this thing. Jimmy, I know they're like family to you. You love all of them. They are your brothers. My family tree. Any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, this is so corny, so cheesy. It's borderlining childish at this point. I get why. Look, they just want to get out of this. This is why they're doing this. They couldn't find a creative way to get out of this whole stupid feud that's been going on with what feels like for 10 years at this point, which it's not, I know. But I'm just saying it feels like it's been going on for that long. All to come to the blow off to this, yeah.
I don't think this is going to get added to WrestleMania. This might run something afterwards. You might see this at Backlash. This could be something that's maybe a highlight on the SmackDown before Mania, like while they're in Vegas, while they're there.
It'll be Solo versus Tama Tonga at some point. That's where it's going, right? And Tama's going to become the new leader of the MFTs because that's the real Tongans.
I don't think they have a lot of value without Solo. He is the character. He is the personality.
He's great. He's great. But if you notice though with Solo, I don't know. I don't want to say like he seems sort of out of it with it. He's just going with emotions. It feels like it's like he knows he might be on the sidelines.
Well, you got to think, he's been used to the last couple of years. He's been involved in like the high profile, high level, what's happening at WrestleMania. It was a background player, but he was still there, and really nothing for him here. Interesting note. I actually do think next week's SmackDown, this upcoming Friday, a couple of days from now, I'm really considering that their go home. I know we got the one right before, but they're already in Vegas. They got the Hall of Fame that night. The attention's pretty much on WrestleMania weekend. So I think this is their big statement week coming up this week.
No, absolutely. Let's hope the Hall of Fame doesn't go for as long as it did last year with Triple H, especially.
I don't care. Just put Stephanie on last so I can tune out immediately following the first three.
Dude, that show didn't finish till 10 p.m. my time. 10 p.m. my time.
It doesn't start till midnight local time, I think.
Yeah, but didn't it finish at 5 a.m. or past that, like 5:30?
And then people got to get up and go to do the rest of their stuff. So
that pissed everybody off last year.
Yeah. Well, if you stayed up and watched it, I didn't. So I didn't piss me off.
I watched all of it. Weirdly enough.
Great. I just watch it the next day. All right, Jimmy, let's switch gears here. Let's head from the blue to the red. And again, they were coming in hot, my friend, to start off this week. Interesting note, they had been advertising. They started advertising this last week, just immediately following Raw, that we were going to open up this show from Houston, Texas. That it was supposed to be Seth Rollins and Gunther opening the show. So obviously a big creative pivot. We don't get that. CM Punk opens. Absolutely right call. What we saw from Rollins, not bad, but not as hot, as lively. Conversation starter. Generate that heat. Get the audience hot as this CM Punk promo. Again, he's in Houston. Punk's in Houston. But where's Roman? Roman hates Punk, but why does CM Punk hate Roman Reigns? Kind of Punk is a self-made man, while Roman is plastic and a product of the system. Roman is a manufactured corporate shill. Takes shots at The Rock here. Pretty much says Roman got a job only because it was a favor because of who he is, his family members, and because Roman sucked at football. He's a Nepo baby. And again, Punk is the one that stands up for what he believes in, that loves pro wrestling, why he is here. Punk speaks for the people. And of course, he throws out there for McAfee to tell his people at the top of it to take care of Punk's people. If Punk wants lower than prices so as many people as possible can come see wrestling.
Yeah, but will they do it? Probably not.
I know we share a little bit.
Absolutely. No. Absolutely.
Again, we explained there what the strategy. We explained that strategy there. So, but it's getting everybody fired up. Again, without Roman present this week, he will be there. Next week, be interesting to see what they do. Punk's got to carry this thing. So I think it added a lot of fire that they needed here. All right, we next on the list here, we got iShowSpeed. We see that iShowSpeed LA Knight interaction from iSpeed's podcast.
That was hilarious.
Knight chucks him in. I'm surprised they showed that because they usually gloss over stuff like that. Just assume that everybody has seen that kind of stuff. So we do get the connection there.
Yeah.
And we have Speed. He's there in the arena. You know, he's looking for some help. He's looking for Danhausen. He needs this curse removed. Danhausen says, hey, just give me your mansion. You know, it's taken care of. Pierce steps up, says, man, you better get the hell out of here. This is not a safe place for you. You got to get out of here. The Vision comes in. They say, hey, man, you're with us. We got you. We're your only friends around here. We're going to take care of you. This leads into our opening bout. Austin Theory, one half of the tag team champions. He gets a big win. He defeats LA Knight when a reluctant Speed is at ringside. And Logan Paul, Jimmy, did he push or did he trip? Did he push or trip hitting iSpeed show into LA Knight to set up that distraction?
That's a good question because he did it pretty good to where you can think it was a trip, but I think he did it on purpose. I mean, come on. But it did look pretty good. Like you can go either way, but going by the character, unless he legitimately tripped, like legitimately he tripped, but he didn't. So
I like how they played that out, where he throws him into it. We see some serious as Speed is trying to exit. He's like, I didn't do anything, man. I'm sorry, you know. And then because LA Knight's chasing down, the Usos cut him off on their entrance. We see some major hops there from Speed, going to jump over Knight's head so he can run into the ring.
I don't think you understand how athletic he truly is, man. He's one of the fastest dudes. That's not even a professional sprinter or anything like that. You'll be surprised. We'll always be cursed.
So he gets into the ring. That sets up the distraction where Theory gets the pin and the win. Post-match, we get the big setup. Pierce makes it official. We got that 6-man set for WrestleMania. We saw that's going to be part of Night 1 free on ESPN2. iSpeed show, right? iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed. And the Vision taking on the Usos in LA Knight. ESPN2 Night 1. We have a match introduced, but we never get the match, Jimmy. I kind of liked how they did this. We get the introductions. All hell breaks loose here. It's supposed to be Finn Balor versus JD McDonough. Doesn't happen. Dom comes out as Balor's making his entrance, jumps Finn from behind, jumps the Prince, but it kind of backfires. Finn starts whooping that butt, kicking his butt. Eventually, the numbers games get to Finn. Judgment Day, the dudes get the upper hand. They're beating him down. We got the belt shot. We got the chair shots. Again, no match gets thrown out here. We saw the poster. We're both surprised by this. Chat, you were a little surprised by this. Ask it a question. Is this it? Is this enough to awake the demon?
I don't know, but going by the poster, it definitely looks like it's going to wake the demon. And if Judgment Day is all going to get involved, I think he does need the demon. Whether he wants to be that or not is another matter. Because
all of Judgment Day, I mean, they only got one dude. It's two of them now. I mean, unless you're going to get the ladies involved in that.
Hey, they should. They got their own thing going on, unless he's. I like it.
I understand WrestleMania. You want that big presentation. They want the spectacle. WWE TKO is in the events and experiences business. So they want something like the big entrance of the demon. They're looking to put a lot of juice back into the life there of Finn Balor.
Well, obviously, if the thing about Finn, and apparently he doesn't like it, he's going to understand at his size and his height, when he becomes a demon, he becomes a lot more credible.
It's an equalizer. It elevates him
It really does.
You believe, okay, now this is something a little outside of the Rebel reality. It's something a little crazy that could get the job done. So we'll see. I mean, I was surprised to see that they put the demon on the poster. Raw is brawl. Let's talk a little women's action here. AJ Lee gets a video package. Have in my notes. Thank God. We got a backstage interview segment. Thank God they didn't do this in the ring, but yeah, it was still terrible. Michael Cole sits down with AJ Lee, immediately gets interrupted by Becky Lynch, who runs down Cole. He was the worst announcer of all time. So Cole just I don't have to take this. He leaves. Becky sits down and conduct the interview herself. And it's a lot of the same, just bad exchange that AJ only won because she had the hometown advantage in Chicago. Well, WrestleMania is the home field advantage for Becky. It's what she has elevated, where she's made her name and made it about women's wrestling. AJ reminds Becky that she is everyone's favorite wrestler, that she's been doing this for so long. She's the one that broke through. So that's what we get. Short to the point. I guess that's the benefit of it. Thankfully, this was a pre-tape, and they didn't do this live in the arena. No, Bailey, go ahead.
I don't know. I was just going to say the segment's still weird a little bit. Becky's just, the way she's acting these days is just kind of, I don't know if she can really pull it off. But nevertheless, we're going to get the match, and Becky will win and get her belt back 100%.
Yep. We'll see AJ go away for a while. So
100%.
I hope maybe they've been working on this so that we get a better bell to bell than we have the last couple times we've seen.
You'd think they probably would have, man. I'm hoping anyway.
Bailey picks up a win, big win over Lash Legend. Nice showcase for Lash. They really let her show her power and athleticism.
Yeah.
But of course, here comes Bliss and Charlotte. This allows Bird Girl to become the ultimate wing girl, and she helps her friend Bailey, her tag team partner, get the big win. Again, a lot of the same old for this women's four-way, but I do have my notes here. Again, no Bellows again, so we're probably resting that ankle.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Me saying that Bailey winning is an upset is kind of weird because really it's not, because it's Bailey, right? But going by the way they've, portrayed her, you got to say it was a big win for Bailey.
I don't like, all right, I get Bailey is the veteran, but she gets the assist from her young friend. I still am just 100% here behind having Nia or Lash right now eating any pins from those two.
No, I agree.
Again, this approach shouldn't be the other three teams have looked like they can beat the champs. It should be no one can beat them, so we're going to give everyone an opportunity at the same time.
And let them run over absolutely everybody.
All right, my next note here from the women's developments, I'm going to read you this one. This is right on what I wrote when I saw this happening. I will clean it up because of the cussing. Effing cocksuckers. WTF. Munchies and what are Munchies and Bebop doing on my Netflix? F you, WWE. I'm enjoying the show. I want to put this episode over, and you effing donkey punch me like this. Munchies and Bebop are on Raw. Of course, this sets up. It's those two. They lose a tag match to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, but the heels, the baddies, beat down the babies. Post-match, I guess the biggest thing with this one, Jimmy, we do see a video package from Asuka kind of going at attacking Io, saying you took everything from me, you're destroying my life here. What's the direction with Io? Is it her and Asuka going to be added to this WrestleMania card? Is this something they're going to do hold off for post WrestleMania? Is Io just going to be in the corner of Ripley?
That's a good question. They can go either way, right? If she's going to be in the corner. But do you think there's a chance that Io could turn on Ripley, and that's where we go after that, including Asuka being in that mix? Could we possibly get that? Because it wouldn't surprise me. Like her and Rhea, for example, are too lovey-dovey, dude. It's weird. It's like, they're always laughing with each other and like, like you do, Rick. It's too much, man. It's HLA.
I don't know why. Like, why would that come from Io? Because I mean, she's the one that Ripley hasn't beat. She's the one that constantly wins their matches. She's the little lovable Asian girl. I mean, you'd think it would be the big bad bully. Maybe Io is a heel trying to beat up Ripley as a baby. It doesn't sell anywhere.
I have you.
Right. I mean, that'd be like a 7-year-old bullying a 30-year-old.
Oh my God, that's true. When you put it like that, and she's been pretty careless lately, Io. If you've noticed, Rick.
Yeah. So we'll see if I'm just kind of curious to the direction where they're going with Io, and because I mean, right now, if they don't, that would also leave Asuka off of the WrestleMania card with nowhere to go.
Unfortunately, you can't fit them all, right? I mean, we don't want.
Well, what about this? What if they're keeping Kairi Sane and Asuka as a reserve option in case the Bellas can't go?
Or Liv and Victor can't go. Well, more so with Liv, obviously. Could it be that even?
Because we do have that here. We get a more of a Liv is in it a little bit, but it's more towards Stephanie Vicare. We get a video package early in the show about them, right. Stephanie on the sub captioning there, Liv doing hers. But the big thing is we see later on backstage, the Judgment Girls are having their conversation. Rox and Liv, and Stephanie runs in, hits Liv from the back. Looks like a major misfire on that because my lovely lady lumps.
Oh God, come on, Reed.
Look at that. They butt heads. When Stephanie slams into Liv, her head goes slamming into Roxy's. They're both in concussion protocol right now. Look at that.
Jesus Christ, man. That is shocking. That is really bad, dude. I don't think I've ever had a lump that size.
That's serious damage.
That is bad, dude.
Serious damage.
It makes me want to get like a pin and just pop it or something. And that's huge. And I hate to say it, but she's got to be concussed. The way that looked, it looked bad, Rick. It really did. And then Vicare proceeds to slam her head into the television, which looked like a legit television, mind you, because you could see like the picture was still there, but it was half fucked up, if you know what I mean. And that's just the way she got pushed. It felt like Liv wasn't even bracing or ready for it. It was just boom, bang into Rox. And poor Roxanne, man, she was just out of it straight away. Like, it was like, wow. So, yeah, it's on you, Steph, unfortunately.
Wicked shot. I don't know if there was someone that was supposed to give a cue of, when she was coming in, or misfires, if Rox just, wasn't looking properly. I mean, it's something, all right. And hopefully, again, concussion protocol, hopefully everything okay. I'd hate for them to have to pivot and do anything different with this match. Certainly been looking forward to it. I've enjoyed the build and both the work from all the parties involved with it.
She's lucky it wasn't the go home show, put it that way, because then she'd still have that lump come WrestleMania weekend, and then that match wouldn't have happened. If it happened like a week before, there is no chance that match would have gone down.
Yeah, he's put one of those padded.
What, the padded helmets sort of thing? That'd be weird.
Can you still hear?
Yeah, you're breaking up there. You're breaking.
We finally get it. All right, so I'm back here. So we finally get it. Finally get it, even after the breakup there. It was advertised to open the show. They pivoted with good reason here. But we get Seth Rollins. He is out, and he is back pandering and singing to the audience. Oh, he's loving it. He's walking around the ring. He is soaking it in. Again, very smart here to move this segment. Not a bad segment, but nowhere near the intensity, the fire that CM Punk brought to open things here. But Seth begins to explain his side of this situation, kind of saying that, that he played Paul Heyman. He knew what was going to happen. He knew what was happening with the division. Bronson Reed's on the shelf. Broad Breaker out of action. And he knew that he might turn to Brock Lesnar. So he sat up Brock Lesnar on a silver platter for Obafemi to come and hit the fall from grace. So he set that all up. He knew what was going on. But the only thing he didn't plan for, and he doesn't really understand, and he's saying this is just Heyman going out and making a dirty deal. He doesn't really know why Gunther got him. And then Gunther gets him again. Another Gunther slides in out of nowhere, gets a hold of him. A little bit of an exchange. He does. Seth is ready for it, but Gunther ultimately gets that upper hand. Gunther exits the ring here. He's backstage, and he is met by Jimmy, a kind of confused Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Gunther says, hey, and it looks like Gunther put the fear in him. Paul is just as confused about this. Gunther puts out his hand. They shake, and pretty much says to Paul that you owe me more than a big favor here.
And you know what? I've got a theory. I think I know what the big favor is going to be, actually, Rick. I think the big favor is Brock Lesnar and him retiring him in the future. And don't be surprised if Heyman ends up turning on Lesnar and joins up with Gunther in the future to retire Lesnar also.
I don't necessarily think that's the favor. I think that's the end game for the storyline. We will end up at some point in the next year. Maybe you do 1 year. Maybe that's next year's WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther in a retirement match.
Well, he said he wanted to possibly retire this year. Did he not, Lesnar? I mean, could it possibly become a SummerSlam match?
Well, what is a year for Brock Lesnar if they're going to keep giving him paydays? He's going to work through WrestleMania and take off for 6 months. So, I mean, so wherever that's at. I don't think it is, hey, I want you to give me Brock Lesnar in a retirement match. I think but this is what starts building towards that. I think it is Gunther saying, hey, I see what you do for a lot of people around here, and I need you to do that for me. I'm better than everyone you're working with. I'm better than Braun Breaker. I'm better than Bronson Reed. I'm better than Logan Paul. Sure as hell better than Austin Theory. I'm better than Seth Rollins. All of those. I need you to do that for me. But I do think at some point, yes, this is that slow build. This is the burn that we're heading towards.
Oh, 100%. If I'm totally off, it doesn't matter because, like you just said, it's totally to get to Lesnar. In what context? I'm not sure yet, but it's definitely going to lead to that. Because what other favor can Heyman possibly do, really?
I think that's where we're going to go with it. So,
100%.
We did have a 6-man match on this. We got the babies inside of the ladder match. That would be Intercontinental Champion Penta, Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans. They are taking on the American Trios, the Grande Trios. Babies go over, high flying fun, lively crowd for this one. Houston crowd loved this one. They were hot for this one.
Even the promo earlier in the show by the Americanos was pretty good, man. I'm actually impressed by what's the little one's name again? Was it Rio and something else?
I don't know, Rio, something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, something like that. Rio and Rio, whatever the fuck. Anyway, the point is,
even them, Rio.
They've improved on their Spanish, man. Suddenly they seem to be able to put sentences in, and they're both British dudes.
They're putting the work in. They're putting the work in, man. They're doing a great job.
And that's what I appreciate about these guys, man. That's why I'm loving this. But I just don't understand why alleged Americano, right, who's allegedly, who you think as in Kaiser, I'm using that term lightly, obviously, doesn't, utilize that character also. Why aren't they making him play both roles? Where you could also almost do a Superman type of deal where when he needs to become Grande Americano, he quickly runs to a freaking phone booth or some shit and changes into freaking Grande Americano.
All right, that would work because there are no phone booths. So just phone booths started showing. No, if they started just randomly showing up, that would be pretty funny. So it's
but actually have it like randomly showing up, like get a prop, do something, but it would be pretty funny if you do that.
Talking about the Americanos, actually like the fact that those guys are full-blown babies on NXT. Of course, Stand and Deliver. Absolutely. You're going to get that full breakdown tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Big Ray and the Vet going to be talking Stand and Deliver. The crowd was loving them on that. But they were working total heels. They outshined the heel team that they were trying to get over, which was confusing to Jimmy and I watching. And they're just as big babies in Mexico, AAA.
Oh, huge in Mexico. Absolutely stars over there.
Like we're saying, hey, man, a true luchador never takes off his mask, Jimmy. So there goes.
Well,
your thing. Post-match here for the six-man. Bulaga hits the crowd, erupts even more. Rey Mysterio hits the ring, and he lets the baby faces in the match know, hey, this match isn't complete. There's only 5. We're going to make it a 6-pack ladder match. Rey Mysterio, add it to the match. Jimmy, your thoughts?
I mean, it's only natural for Rey Mysterio to be in a match like this, and I'm sure he would have wanted to participate in a match like this because it's probably his last time that he will participate in the match.
And much needed star power to a high impact fun match for night 2 ESPN. People are going to know Rey Mysterio. People know Rey Mysterio.
Dude, I think some people underestimate how big of a name Rey Mysterio truly is in the world of professional wrestling.
Across the board. I think just in sports, they're going to recognize him over on ESPN. I know a lot of people, I seen some people like, why Rey Mysterio here? Why didn't you use him with the Gunther? Well, maybe Rey Mysterio doesn't want to retire.
Maybe he's not ready, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. Why would you want to play Gunther?
I see some people yelling about that. It's like, well, maybe he doesn't want to retire. So that's why. All right, Jimmy, let's get it. Closed the show. It is the real main event. It is going to be the kickoff match. The freebie on the biggest distribution platform for this year's WrestleMania Night 2 ESPN. Of course, this was the contract signing that was supposed to be, that never was. Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi. Lesnar's the first one out. Oba comes out second, and that crowd is hype. First one out, Triple H and Adam Pearce. Then Brock Lesnar. Here comes Oba. Before he can get through those ropes, though, Brock says, the hell with this thing. We're throwing down. Brock jumps on him, knocks him to the floor, and then all hell breaks loose. I think they didn't have enough security guards. They should have had 100 security guards out there for them. They're throwing chairs at each other. They're breaking free. We have got a melee. The contract's never signed yet as we go off the air here. This is big energy, big fight feel to close the show.
Huge, man. It definitely has the big fight feel and is the biggest match for me that I'm so intrigued on, and he's looking forward to watching. But the only thing that sort of messes me up about all this, too much interacting going on, like physically. Way too much.
Too hung up on that because they're teasing it. Nothing has been that devastating outside of week 1, that fall for grace. And I've thought on this, and I know everything that we're taught. And I can hear the vet in my head talking about, you talk them into the building for the wrestling match. But when you look at the reaction, you look at the coverage, the headlines that they show each and every week, it came from that first slam. And I think the intrigue there is, OMG, holy, Brock Lesnar got slammed like this. We never see that. Then the intrigue for those inside, can he do it again? Will Brock let him do it again? Will Brock crush it? That adds to the intrigue here. Then we just had the clothesline. We've got the walk-offs. We just had a little bit of a brawl here with security. I think it's great. The only thing, again, maybe we get it because they didn't hit the contract. Why not? If we're talking about letting people know where they need to be, Sunday, April 19th, 7 p.m. ESPN. We're talking about where they need to be. This needed to be on ESPN, as we talked about last week.
Absolutely. And where is it? It's going to be on ESPN. So it's pretty crazy that they've actually managed to do that. A great brawl, but I don't know how they can top this as a go-home segment for next week. This should have been. I agree with that. Where do you go?
I agree. I think they need to incorporate now this on ESPN. We need to see these two next week.
You keep them off now. Between now and Mania, Rick, possibly? Just
well, it's only 1 week. It's only 1 week. I don't know if you keep them off. I'd have them both up there at ESPN doing a lot of PR to sell this thing. Again, where people need to be Sunday night, April 19th, 6 p.m. This is happening.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They should be doing the rounds, but I guess that's going to be on Roman and Punk more so than anything to do the rounds. But you'd think them two would do it, but Brock doesn't like doing rounds, media rounds, or talking to the media for that matter.
Brock over interacting during a Pat McAfee segment. Not a segment. Pat McAfee's doing us the same wrestling. He wants to bring back the studs, the blueprints, the creator wrestlers. Why not do this on the Pat McAfee show next week? Have massive security. Bring in some NFL guys to stand in between them to make sure that. But then let all hell. Have them destroy the Thunderdome. Have them destroy the Thunderdome on Pat Mac's show, setting up just days away to let them know where to be at here.
No, absolutely, I agree with that. I like the idea of that. But what the other said just then also is true.
We laid it out last week. We laid that out last week.
So we agree with you 100% on that one, Alice, because we've been saying the same thing. And I feel like if they didn't do that or don't do that, because they might still, for that matter, they so dropped the ball. But putting all that shit aside and putting my because I'm looking at it from a different eye. As a fan, though, Rick, if you put all that shit aside, and like the vet says, the good old the a la carte menu and stuff, this was brilliant. I've loved everything about it in every sense. But when you look at the fundamentals and stuff like that, it could have been handled a bit better. But I also understand why they're doing what they're doing also. And I'm cool with it. But I'm just pointing it out. That's all.
Right here, Kenny Epic Power saying, T RBV, Brock wants to be the first to go home in his phone. That's why I put it. Go back to listen to the beginning of the show. We lay out exactly why this is a bigger deal than most people see. This is a test. This is to see what the true value of what WWE is, as ESPN has invested in their product. Jimmy, that's this week. Hey, I think, as I said, this Friday, I think you could kind of consider a go home for SmackDown. Next Monday, go home for Raw. So we're going to have another big episode of This Week in WWE coming up next Tuesday. So we're going to be back at it normal time next Tuesday at 3. But I also want to throw out some programming, some special programming. We're going to have a lot of bonus coverage coming up for WrestleMania weekend. So next Tuesday, April 4th, you got the go home review right here with Jimmy T and myself. Next Thursday, April 16th. About 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is going to be our set time for that. The HMG, the Hami Media Group, Talking Heads. We're going to sit down. It's Jimmy T. It's me. How about Big Ray? How about MSG? Maybe even Let's Go Brandon. We're all going to sit down and have a little WrestleMania hype roundtable. That's next Thursday, April 16th, 1 p.m. here on the platform. Of course, April 17th, you got SmackDown in the Hall of Fame watch along with Brandon. Saturday, Sunday, watch alongs. Jimmy T and I are going to be back after those shows with a This Week in WWE WrestleMania breakdown of each night. So a lot of big time coverage coming at you. We'll have all those graphics, all those updates available here in the next couple days. But for that, Jimmy T, go ahead and get us out of here for this week's episode.
Well, thank you for laying all that out, Rick, because it's going to be a huge week in these coming weeks to the road to WrestleMania. So, yeah, watch out for them. But in saying that, I think it's time we bid adieu. I mean, we're going. I am Jimmy T. He is R to the B to the V, and you've been listening and watching This Week in WWE live on Hami Media Group's YouTube channel, and go check out the Patreon after the fact. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. Until next time,
real quick. All right, now, it's the reason we hurried up here. Tony Khan is on with Coach and Mr. Russo, Coach and Bro right now. Go check that out. All right, now hit the outro.
See you.